You don't want a piece of these streets. It'll make you go bye-bye. You think you're hot but you don't want this heat. It'll make the helicopters fly by.
Sabani, creative visionary, and welcome to Soulful Saturday. Soulful Saturday. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. We're going to be talking about the soulful thing. The soulful thing. Soulful thing. Okay, so in yesterday's video, we talked about freedom, right? Freedom. And a few days ago, we talked about the four different minds. And we said there is, once you go beyond the awareness of, I'm in a narcissistic relationship, I don't want this anymore, I need to go to therapy, and whatever change you make or you don't make, listen, I'm not here to shame you if you cannot get out of these relationships. Child, I stayed 17 years, 10 years in that relationship. And then because I was still working my way out of those sorts of relationships, I had more of these souls that I allowed into my life, and it just was a disaster. Honestly, it was a nightmare. So, yeah. Don't blame yourself if you can't get out. If you have children and you cannot get out, don't blame yourself. If you're a man and you are constantly in and out of courts because you are married to, or you were married to a woman who decided to turn your children against you. I have heard a lot of men tell me these stories before they commit suicide. Because they can't see their children, they get really mad and their children turn against them. And it's really painful for men. I've watched grown men cry tears, cry snot, because they cannot see their children. This narcissistic thing it's a true demon, you know. Honestly, it's a true demon. It's a demon that needs to be dealt with. It's a demon that needs to be dealt with. We need to deal with this demon. It's awful. This demon is awful. It is destroying families. It is destroying countries. It is destroying companies. It's a sick demon, and it's just running us, and we are not talking about it. And I mean, like now, a lot of people are talking about it, but for the longest time, there weren't people talking about narcissism. Like, narcissism, what? What is narcissism? I'm so grateful to all the people that create videos on narcissism. You are really, your souls are blessed. Honestly, you are changing consciousness with your work. I've never been a social media person, but I realized just living here in Thailand, people don't even know what narcissism is. They don't know what narcissism is. Which brings me to Soulful Saturday. Religious narcissism is a big problem. I have to talk about religious narcissism. Religious narcissism is a big problem because, you know, once you've gone through the conscious mind, you go to the subconscious mind, you feel the rage, you feel the anxiety in your body, you feel the shame and the guilt and all of this stuff. And then you go to the collective story, Adam and Eve story, if you're a Christian, and I will talk more as we continue because this is going to be a series. I do series. I love to do series because it's important to do series because then there's a continuation. Before I used to just do random videos, but that's really not how my brain works. It was when I was healing. That's when I needed to do these just random videos because I was just like all over the place. But honestly, I'm very meticulous and strategic about how I do everything. So now I'm focused on series. So, so we go into the collective unconscious where we dealt with the Adam and Eve story, but Cain and Abel story. We talked about Joseph and his brothers selling him into slavery. Most chosen ones. Most people, honestly, who are living through these narcissistic abusive relationships, you are chosen. You are the visionary in your family. You are the starseed. You are the healer. You have the power, and you chose for yourself too to be born into a family where you were going to experience this kind of stuff so that you can be the generational curse breaker. I remember saying this to my husband. Like, he reminded me, I don't know, a month ago. He was like, babe, oh my God, when you first moved to America, you said to me, honey, I am going to end the cycle of abuse. I am the one. I am going to end it. He's like, and I was like, oh, I take that back. I take that back. I didn't know it would end up being this kind of a hellish experience. I'm grateful for my prayer work. I'm grateful for all the people that create YouTube videos, because it was like, oh, okay, it's time. I'm grateful for my strength. I'm grateful for my connection with divinity. Okay, so let's talk about religious narcissism. There is a huge problem on planet Earth with religious narcissists. There is a huge problem on planet Earth with religious narcissists. Religious narcissists are the bane of human existence. Honestly, they are the bane of human existence. They are the bane of human existence. There is nothing that will destroy you more than a religious narcissist. Okay, so I would say family dynamics, a narcissistic family will get you, because this is your formative stage. This is when you're beginning your life and formative years. Okay, some of us weren't born into narcissistic families, so we don't really understand what narcissism is or abuse until we get to religion or some kind of spirituality. Because even in the metaphysical circles, even in the spiritual circles, even in the yoga circles, even in the Christian churches, in all of these other spiritual practices, Buddhism, all of them, it's a thing. It's a thing. I don't know why people like to go into spirituality and be, I am the boss, I am the what, I am the what. Because their mothers never loved them, or their fathers never abandoned them, or some kind of dysfunction is happening here in the head. And religious narcissists love to have people worship them. And they love to use black magic. I was involved in one of these things. And I was involved in one of these things. My sibling, Busi Buchelezi, started working with, she was already working with this guy who is a warlock. So he has a church, but he's really a warlock, and he has witches, and they hide behind church. They quote the Bible. And so I thought, okay, I'll work with these people because they seem like good people, and I'll give them my consulting services. Damn, I didn't realize that they were truly a cult. Like a cult. But they didn't care about everybody else in that cult. Not really. They didn't really care about anybody else in the cult. Because while they've been attacking me, they don't attack everybody else in the cult. They wanted me because I am a chosen one. I have a certain power and a certain energy. When I pray, honestly, when I pray, things move. Things move. But if I am praying, but what I've noticed is that if I'm praying from a place of depression, nothing changes in my life. If I'm praying from a place of joy, of freedom, of knowing my oneness with divinity, things start happening. So what they did is they sank me into a depression through witchcraft. And honestly, how witchcraft works is that there has to be someone who's close to you who can tell them all of your traumas and all of the things that have hurt you the most, and they use that to put the witchcraft onto you, which the only person who could have given them that kind of information is my sibling. She came to America with this spell and these things, because I remember when she first came to America, I started having these massive dreams, like people were chasing me. I kept waking up and saying, the wizard is here, the wizard is here, the wizard is here. Because she had already sold her soul, and next was to try to kill me so that she could take on my identity. Okay, I'm sharing my story. I won't ever actually share the story anymore. I'm starting a new direction in my YouTube channel now that I've kind of awoken to all of this. And then we're going to start working on all of the other stuff in family. So the reason why therapy doesn't work, I found, is that there's no rapport that is built. So you go to a therapist and the therapist says, how does that make you feel? Or they give you a worksheet. And human connection and human communication is based on building rapport. I'm never going to tell you all of my stories. I'm never going to tell you every single sad thing that has ever happened to me. I am only sharing this version of my story, and because this is relevant to the direction of my YouTube channel, okay? But the reason therapy doesn't work is that most people don't trust their therapists because their therapists don't talk, rightfully so. Because if you're a therapist and you have a license and you start telling people your sad stories, they can use those things against you because there's a lot of sick people. Look, the people that I was working with used all of my traumas to put spells on me, depress me to a point where I couldn't even pray. My prayers are powerful prayers. I got myself out of South Africa with my prayers. Okay, so religious narcissists need power. They need power. I've noticed that there's a lot of religious narcissists and spiritual narcissists that have some serious wounds that they have not dealt with in their childhood, from childhood. And so if they go into this position of, I am religious, I am spiritual, I am a monk, I am this, and this, it can get real bad real fast for a lot of people. I'm grateful when I moved to Thailand, I worked with 2 different temples, and I really got some really amazing monks. Honestly, these men just held me. Well, they didn't hold you. Monks and nuns don't touch and stuff like this. But before I even decided to go down the Theravada Buddhist nun, because I've done a lot of the other Buddhist sects. I've been to like a lot of the other Buddhist sects, but just Theravada Buddhist nun. I went to one temple, and just the encouragement from the monks every day, 4:30 at night, in the afternoon, I would just chant with them, and just that feeling of just being around these men that are just chanting Namo Tassa Bhagavato Aramhato Samma Sambuddhassa. It was so powerful for me. It just, the ability to speak and chant, and that was a form of prayer. This is how I'm able to actually talk about these things and actually talk about cults and talk about religious narcissism, because when I got to Thailand, I couldn't even talk. Honestly, I was just pathetic. I was sitting like this, oh my God, I was so sad and depressed. I was trying to get myself out of that depression, but this is narcissism. Warlocks in the churches, witches in the churches, they try to shut down your throat chakra. Okay, so how I got out of that was to join, I joined the Sangha, and I just started chanting with the monks. I was the only woman going there to chant with the monks at 4:30. And then after that, one of the monks encouraged me to go to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai. And then he was like, and then I was like, that's too far. I don't want to leave my husband. And then I found another temple, and then I decided to ordain at that temple, and I was just going in and out of nunhood, in and out of meditator stage. Okay, I'm grateful that I found these 2 monks. They, like, even my monk who ordained me, my monk nun teacher who ordained me, was telling me about the fake monks. They call them fake monks. Dangerous fake monks. A lot of the Thai people were also telling me about it. Dangerous fake monks. So I was really lucky to find pure monks that are just following the Buddha path. Because after coming out of a religious narcissistic experience, I was in deep hell. Like, honestly, I was in really deep hell. I was in deep hell. So I've noticed, like, when I go to the temple, a lot of women, it's mainly, I've noticed, a lot of men, not a lot of men. Some men come to the temple, and usually they burnt out, or they've gone through a breakup. They have no money. This is when they come to the temple, and they can get refuge at the temple, because Thai temples are beautiful. When you have no money, when you, like, something has gone wrong in your life, you can go to the temple and regain your strength. You get fed, you chant, you get your mind right, and then you can get out and go live your life outside again. But the women that I've noticed in the past 2 years that come to the temple are on a different level of something. I had one woman come to the temple and she kept saying, he's a narcissist. She just kept repeating the same word. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. I've just been through so much. She was so frazzled. I said, honey, you just need to just like calm down. Calm down. I've had women come to the temple. They have had black magic put on them. Women who are coming out of toxic relationships. Women who are just, yeah. And when you're coming out of a situation like that, a personal relationship or a job situation, and you need refuge, and you go into a situation where you are dealing with a toxic, narcissistic, religious person, it can destroy you. Because at that point, you lose faith in the divine. You lose faith in the divine. So grateful. The first thing I did when I left Vegas, I said, I just need to find myself. I need to find myself. I need to be quiet. I need to find myself. I started at a temple in another island, and I just went and sat at that temple, and I just sat at the temple and I said, please lead me to the right temple. Oh my God, I was praying to my ancestors. I was praying to God. I was praying to Velnganga. I was praying to Buddha. I was praying to Jesus. I said, Jesus, you better help me, Jesus. Yeshua, you better help me. I just need to find the right temple so I can just gather my strength, gather my mind, because damn man, that witchcraft was something. That witchcraft was something. I am strong as hell. Because most people, I was being attacked by so many witches and warlocks. I was losing my mind. Thank goodness I found 2 temples that just gave me, and it's just like the masculine. They didn't give me anything. They didn't hug me. They didn't give me anything. They just said, sit down, shut up, and meditate. Sit down, shut up, and meditate. And that gave me the structure to call back my mind, call back my purpose, call back my energy, return back to sender everything that didn't belong to me, that was not mine. And now these people are learning. They are learning how powerful my prayers are and my return back to sender is. Okay, so the reason I'm sharing about religious narcissists is that, especially for women, as women, we love being in the churches. We love God. As women, we love God because we don't fundamentally feel protected here on planet Earth. We have been through so many narcissistic relationships. We have been through so much stuff. Black woman, white woman, Indian woman, Mexicano woman, Asian, it doesn't matter. Narcissism doesn't have a color. So many men are struggling by themselves with these narcissistic women. And men usually don't go to church and speak up about what is truly going on. And if you're a young man and you've got a narcissistic mother and she's dragging you to church, how do you speak up and say, my mother's a narcissist? You can't. You don't have a place to go and speak these truths. And then if you go to these churches and then or these temples or these synagogues, and there's a narcissistic, religious narcissist, oh wow, now it's another story altogether. It's another story. I'm here to validate people who are cult survivors. You did nothing wrong. You were just led astray either by your mother, because a lot of mothers love these cults and they drag their children to these cults. A lot of women love to be involved in churches, and in these churches sometimes there are spiritual narcissists, and you are exposing your children to rape. You are exposing your children to violence. And then you have guilt for lifetimes that you exposed your children to this. Number one, I want to say to you, woman, you did the best you can. And it's unfortunate that you went into a church where there was a narcissist, a religious narcissist, and they might have abused your children. In America, this is a thing. You do not know how many women I've spoken to in America where their mothers took them to the churches. In the churches, this is where they got raped. This is where they got raped. In Africa, it's a thing. South Africa, it's a thing with prophets. It's a thing with prophets. The prophets are raping children, young girls, having babies with 12-year-olds, 10-year-old girls. They are living with 20 girls and they are the papa, daddy of these of these young girls. These girls are singing in these churches and they are getting raped and having babies with these men. In Ghana, same thing. Nigeria, same thing. All over Africa. Africa is a thing. Even South America is a thing. Cults. Because these people with cults love power. But in South Africa, I saw that there was women now who were doing these things. They're taking children, fake prophets. They're taking children and they put these children in secluded areas. And then these young people are just following the mama. It's no longer the papa anymore, because these women have figured out, oh, I can also make money from these churches. And now it's not only just the men that are doing this, it's now the women that are doing these things. I'm just like, but what, when a woman is willing to go this far, this low, what happened to this woman? Like, what kind of trauma did they experience and what kind of demon is running them? But we as a human race are so desperate for God. We are desperate. We have lost hope. How could you not lose hope? If it's not the protests where there's just them rioting, it is the natural disasters. If it's not the natural disasters, it is the money problems. If it is not the money problems, it is the relationship problems. If it's not the relationship problems, it is the health problems. How could you not lose hope? So if you have lost hope in the divine, you've lost hope in religion, organized religion, you've lost hope in these spiritual things where you found yourself in worshipping, or you didn't think that you were going to have to worship a spiritual narcissist, but now you found yourself in this. If you have been abused sexually in these things, I want to say to you, honestly, you didn't do anything wrong. You are innocent. But Tembi, I'm not innocent. This and this and this. You are innocent. When it comes to the divine, and unless you know how to feel energy, I could feel energy when I went to Ghana. I said, this is bad news. This man is a psychopath. He's sleeping with children, pedophile. I was like, this is not right. It's not your fault. Honestly, it's not your fault. There are sick people out here in the world. There are a lot of sick human beings out here in the world. It's not your fault. Please, like the blame, self-blame and anger I went through was so intense. It was so intense. But when I found out that my sibling was involved in this stuff, that anger went to 1,000,000,000. My body was shaking. I was angry. But that was my initiation into my spiritual leadership. So every bad situation you go through, thank God I didn't get raped. I just had a hard time with witchcraft. But they didn't put witchcraft on anybody else but me. I don't know why they loved me so much, because I'm a chosen one. I'm a chosen one. I got a big mission here on planet Earth. A big mission. But that was truly my initiation into spiritual leadership, into embodying my purpose. Because if I hadn't gone through that experience, I don't think I would be talking about narcissism, nor would I be talking about depression. I'd still be talking about the stock market and consulting, family businesses and all this stuff. I still talk about this stuff, but these things happen in family businesses because I saw it in my own family. My grandfather had an empire. And then it was the churches and the witchcraft and marrying women who didn't want to work, who were busy in this witchcraft thing, destroyed him. So I have a legacy of men in my life, super wealthy, get destroyed by a woman. And did I not experience that with my sibling? Generational curse. Until you understand what your assignment is here on planet Earth, and you're willing to go through it full on. No matter how hard it is, your ancestors are there praying for you to move forward. God is always there with you. This is the only thing I could trust. God, as I walk on this planet, support me. Father Sky, call me up higher. Never let me look down and lose hope. No matter how difficult this witchcraft is on me, no matter what is going on, God, help me look up. Bless me, grandfather son, with the blessings of 1 billion sons, trillion sons, infinite sons, so I can get out of this witchcraft and get out of this depression. Because if I get out of this depression, that means I will have broken the curse that destroyed my grandfather, destroyed my dad, and I said, hail to the no, ain't going to destroy me. Because most of my cousins have been destroyed by depression after they've been in a relationship with some random woman that they picked up, and they bring them into the family business, and then their lives fall apart. I'm not blaming these women per se. It's a generational curse that I literally was like, as a woman, I have a husband. Do you know how many men have come to me trying to sleep with me? And I was like, my dad got knocked up by this. My grandfather divorced my grandmother, and that's how he went down, because his next wife was a psychopath, tried to kill him, and now this is repeating. Oh, my own sibling is trying to kill me. Damn, man, these generational things keep repeating themselves until you are the one in your family that breaks the cycle. It's not easy to talk about these things. Most of us would rather be, don't talk about that things. But you know what? The power is in using your voice. The power is in speaking. Once you've spoken it, it's no longer a secret. Once it's no longer a secret, it no longer has power over you. It no longer has power over you. And this is why these generational curses continue over and over and over and over and over and over. Narcissism continues in families over and over and over and over and over and over. Abuses happen in families over and over and over and over and over and over. You are the chosen one. Break the generational curse. Tembi, it's painful. Oh, girl, I know. Brother, I know. But listen, you are the chosen one in your family. You've got the power. You have what it takes. Your ancestors are praying for you. They have to pray for you, because if you don't make it, it's just a whole lineage of dysfunction and toxicity. Let me tell you something. Now that I'm just going to start preaching. I was talking to my dad. I talk to my dad. I have a 2-hour conversation with my dad mostly every day. We write each other letters because my dad loved writing and I love writing. So this is how I found that since my father has passed away, I can connect with my dad. I light a candle, I put his photo there, and I just start writing letters, and I just start writing and asking him questions. This is how I found out a lot of these things about generational curses and all of these things, because I will write and sit and meditate, and then I'll have an idea, and now something will download through me, and I'll hear my dad's laugh, and I can smell my dad, and I'm like, oh, he's here now, and he's talking. This is how I found out about these things, a lot of these things, about these generational things. So if your parents have passed away, you can connect with your ancestors, but if you had a bad relationship with your parents, it's probably best you start forgiveness first. Because if you don't forgive your family and your parents for what they have put you through, you're not going to get the ancestral blessings, and you're not going to understand why the generational curses. But my dad has always been saying to me, Tembi, I love you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Please continue. I am watching out for you. Sometimes I will meet somebody and my dad will say, get away from this person. And I can hear him. First I can smell him, and then I can hear him, and then I just cut that person out. And then it's like I realized 2 months later that person was just toxic. And I'm like, thanks, Baba. Thanks, Baba. Sometimes my grandfather will come and talk to me. And be like, ooh, that's going to put you in a whole lot of trouble. Sometimes it's my grandmothers that are coming to talk to me. But it's because of a lot of forgiveness work. If you haven't started the forgiveness work on your ancestors, on your parents that have maybe passed away, it's okay. You are allowed to be angry at your parents. You are allowed to hate them until you get tired. I just got tired of hating my dad, because honestly, my dad was my first love. I love my dad. I love my mom. I just can't be around people who are toxic, but I will never stop loving my parents. I don't really like my siblings. No. But my parents, they brought me to this world. I love them. I won't ever stop loving them. I won't. And it's really been really helpful for me. But it's also been really helpful. Like my grandfather was the one who told me about the cult. He was like, get away from this man is just sick. He's a pedophile. Get away from him. And then when I started looking at what this man was doing, Ishmael Tete, I was like, oh yeah. So I could trust my grandfather's talking to me. I could trust him. I don't understand why we have so many of these cults and all of these bad things on planet Earth, but we are living on this planet. So we need to live aware, but also forgive yourself. If you have dragged your children into these things and your children got raped and got abused, and you maybe as a woman got raped, listen, you are innocent. When it comes to spirituality and religion, no, that one I can give you a pass. Except if you're a narcissist yourself. But honestly, you're innocent. It is a difficult path. That one is a difficult path. It is a difficult one. Once you go through that, you either come out on the other side and you love God with everything you've got, or you never have faith again or hope in divinity. And I'm here to just maybe plant a seed. You can have hope in God again. Not God in a man with breath in their nostrils, but the God that lives inside of your being. You can have faith and courage in the God that lives inside of your being. You are worthy of freedom from narcissists. You are worthy of God's love. You are worthy of God's protection. You are worthy of God's peace in your soul. You are worthy of God's provision. This you are worthy of. And I'm here to say, I am living proof. I left a cult. They were sending me cults, spells, accidents, and I survived because I kept saying this to myself. I am worthy of God's love. I am worthy of God's protection and provision. I am worthy. Not a God in a man out there, not a God, the God in my soul who said, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. You are worthy of my love. You are worthy. So, woman, if you find yourself in these toxic things with these narcissists, forgive yourself. Honestly, just forgive yourself. You are innocent. Man, if you've been taken advantage of in these cults too, because there's a lot of men in these cults, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You did not know what you were doing. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Yes? Yeah. Young woman, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. So, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Yes, on this video. I'm just loving these now. Woo! I'm just loving. I'm on a roll. I'm never going to stop doing these because now I'm talking about the reels. Now that I've given you like a basis, relationships, spirituality, finance, health, and emotional and psychological stability, which is like my 5 core areas that I work on. Once I've worked through this and I've explained this to people, then I can start branching off, because then I can refer back to the video. Say in video number 5, Freedom Friday number 5, please refer to that. Go and watch that video, because now I'm just going to go full out on narcissism and just let's talk about this. So in the comments below, please share what you have learned about religious narcissism. Have you been in a cult? And are you still in a cult and you're afraid to get out? What kind of help would you need? And if you did get out of a cult, how did you get out of a cult? And what did you do to help heal yourself? Because so many of us would like to know. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification.